No.
I made myself homeless, which is fucked.
How do you, like, for anybody that's not understanding homeless, addiction, mental health,
Right.
you got a very good grasp on it because you were
Yeah.
there.
So
How do you define that to somebody that just says they chose that life?
I don't want anybody to get upset, but it is what it
No,
is.
we're going to go with that.
So I'm very fortunate in the way that, and this is what it is. Okay, so I'm 38 years old. I live at home with my parents that should both be retired and living happily right now. And ideally, in a movie and make believe life, that's what would happen. But that's not the scenario. So I'm very thankful, grateful for them, and I love my life the way it is because this is how the big guy upstairs, however anybody wants to interpret that, the higher power intended it to be. Now, what I can say is that I see light at the end of the tunnel. I'm using all of the resources I have available and every avenue I can to use the resources that people in positions that are managers, that are people like, I mean, my probation officers, excellent. Mental health workers are fucking phenomenal. Anybody that's working at a shelter or anybody that's working at a volunteer position like the Rock Missions or the Hope Haven, like these people that are put in these positions are the godsends. Like they're saviors. They need to get
And they get shit on a whole lot right now.
a crazy. And I was never one to shit on any one of them directly. Like, not that I can remember, but I don't think like that's not even what this is about. But I see things, and you come back. Well, go back to the point of me being a good guy. Like I remember somebody would get shit on for breaking the rules. Okay, like somebody would break a fucking rule, and then the person would get kicked out, and then it became a verbal attack or whatever on that individual, and you could see how much it sucked the air out of the room. And the thing is that like I'd always go out of my way to like try and make it okay. Like it's not your fault. Like it just even with half a shaved head and half a blue haircut. Like, and I mean, I thought that was in, right?
Yeah,
but it wasn't.
cool.
It was cool for a bit. But these things with the homelessness, it's that I literally had. So for me, and then I could talk forever about this. I don't know what was going. I just don't know what was going on, but I know that I had an ultimatum at this point, and it was completely fair ultimatum. It was, you're gonna start doing X, Y, and Z so you can be the father that you want to be. We know you can be the son, be the brother, be the neighbor, be the member of the community and the society, and not be a statistic of all this other stuff. And or you can do what you're going to continue doing, and we'll love you from a distance. And I said, no problem. So you're telling me like we're still good if I decided I want to don't use meth, we're good. I can come back whenever. Just can't sleep here and stuff. Yeah. Okay. Well, fuck it.
Adios, amigos.
Adios. Yeah. All I need is a bowl. Like I mean, and crystal meth for me was, and that's where this is my last problem, my biggest problem actually. I chose crystal. I was choosing crystal meth, and and I'll say this is hilarious, but it's not the delicacies of getting to play in a dumpster. You know what I mean? For fucking, that's my fun. That's me getting high, and I went from going and hanging out with people like doing, and going and hanging in a dumpster and showing up to people's houses with shopping carts full of shit, leveling people's stuff on top of buildings. I was climbing radio towers in the nude, like destroying. And I haven't even seen these. I haven't seen any videos. I haven't seen anything yet. I know about certain comments and I know about certain things, and it's one of them things where it's kind of be like, I want it to be raw because I have my ideas and my opinions and my views on it, and I know there's going to be a time. But I mean, like, those are the charges that we were talking about. And I got back from. I pled guilty to those, like, right then and there on that whole experience, which hopefully we'll get into at some point in time, and it'll give me a better understanding too, because I want to do therapy for it. I've got to know what's going on. I have to obviously pay restitution, which for me is I'm thankful to pay restitution, given the fact that is only 50% of what it should have been. Mm-hmm. Who knows what it should have been or could have been? Mm-hmm. But like what they had to deal with too, it's not just like none of it has to do with poor me. I never thought like that.
No.
So the foundation was kind of started because when my brother Craig passed, there was a GoFundMe started. And the GoFundMe was started by one of my dad's great friends, and it was basically to cover the finances of everything that we were going to go through. The GoFundMe actually blew up in the community and kind of outside of the community as well, and it raised over $60,000 on the GoFundMe. So when it kind of hit that point, I knew that there was something better that we could probably do with that money. And I wanted to start a foundation, and I wanted the foundation to get its charitable status. And my goal with the whole foundation is to help as many kids as we can in the community of Chatham-Kent and kind of give every single kid the experience or the opportunity that Craig had growing up, and as well as myself and my sister. We were fortunate enough to play any sport we wanted, do any activities that we wanted. Our parents were able to give us that, and our parents put in the time and effort to drive us from arena to arena, which we're thankful for to this day. But it's the financial burden that some kids they're not able to play those sports, right? And I guess from a mental health side of things as well, it helps me. It helps me that we can give back to so many kids. We've supported, I believe, over 16 kids now and given them a chance to play at the level that they want to play at and be able to join the activities that they want to enjoy. Making those phone calls to some of those kids, some of those parents, and basically letting them know that the Craig Spence Foundation is going to take that financial burden off of them, and we will cover all registration for their kid for that year. I've had grown men bawling their eyes out to me, basically saying that without that, their kid would not be able to play sports. And I think when I get to do that and I get to see that reaction and I get to see that kid still enjoy the game with his friends, that almost shows me that there is good out of such a terrible tragedy.
100%. It's
And
very admirable. And it's a very sweet thing. It's got me all emotional thinking about it. Friggin' hot mess over here. It's amazing what you're doing.
yeah, no, I appreciate it. And it's not just me, it's the whole family. Everyone helps out. Our volunteers are unbelievable. We run a golf tournament and a concert in the summer, and I actually have to turn volunteers away every year just because everyone wants to help out. And it's unbelievable, the support around it. We actually, for the past 2 Christmas breaks, we've ran a free power skating for kids. In our first year, we had 200 kids out on the ice, and this year we had 250. And kind of just seeing every kid out there with Craig Spence written on the front of their jersey is one of the cooler things I've seen. And I guess we actually played a hockey game since now I coach, but we had a game out in Wallaceburg. I believe it was in September, and there was a kid on the ice that was just doing his practice that was wearing a Craig Spence jersey just for his practice. And just like that little thing of like, this kid's wearing his jersey for more than just your power skating. Yeah. This is now this kid's jersey that he practices in once a week, which is just a really cool thing to see. And yeah, it makes you put everything kind of into perspective a little bit as well. So
you may be the only person all day that says anything nice or kind to these people. So at least let that be you.
You've always been one of the kindest humans I've ever met. Do you think that'll ever change? Like, let's face it, when dickhead Doug Ford came in, he affected the disability program 100%. Is it just political?
The money comes from the government. Yeah. So of course it's all political.
Yeah, this is kind of a stupid question on my behalf.
People that are receiving Canada Pension Disability, which is federal, I would have to say 99.9% of those people, all they want when they apply for ODSP, a lot of times, is the benefits. ODSP will provide benefits for people.
Okay.
Canada Pension Disability does not.
Okay.
Canada Pension Disability has different rules than ODSP.
Yeah.
Canada Pension says you're on us because you can't work because you're hurt or you've been disabled.
Yeah.
Ontario Disability says if you can work, we encourage it.
Yeah.
There's the first conflict.
So the moment you do, they'll let you make this, but these guys drop you.
I don't know what the threshold is, and I don't know if it's...
Well, after making that post, I found out this one definitely drops you, CPP.
Does it?
Yeah. They don't allow you to do any money making.
Because you worked, and now you say you can't work, and that's how they stand on that one. Is it right?
Considering everything keeps going up.
No, not even that. Considering I worked 35 years. I was one of the lucky ones. I walked out with no issues. Okay, I didn't end up with a bad back from lifting out of the center.
Yep.
I didn't get hurt when I worked behavior. You know, I worked ODSP and I sat at a desk. Did I get heavier? Yeah, of course I did. But other than that, I walked out, didn't get hurt. Yeah. So I was one of the lucky ones.
You know, I got into my accident when I was 32. I was very young. I didn't get to live a lot of my goals, go through. But what I did do is make a lot of money. And I didn't save any of it because I was a piss tank and I partied it all away. But I paid a lot in taxes. And it is funny, you know, because your CPP is what you paid your taxes, right?
Know. Yeah.
And people like, because I posted, I showed what I get paid for CPP.
Yep.
And like, obviously the money's a lot different in the 2000s and it was 2000s when I started working, compared to the 70s, 80s, 90s, right? And people don't understand that, you know, from that, what was minimum wage back then to, you know, a 20,000, 30,000 a year job to flip it ahead to the 2000s to 100 and a half a year.
I want to say when I started at the center as a student, I think I was getting minimum wage, and I want to say it was $3.15 an hour. Maybe $6.15 or something like that.
I when I started, it was $6.30.
Yeah.
Minimum wage.
I have a friend.
Yeah.
Got into a car accident. I said to him, why aren't you on at least Canada Pension Disability? Guess what? He got in that car accident when he was too young, and he did not have enough hours to get anything from Canada Pension. And thankfully, he has a good life, you know, and he is doing fine.
Yeah.
But he doesn't qualify for ODSP because he is doing fine.
Yeah. Yeah. There's listen, over the last decade, I've heard some real nightmares. I've had to do things just to make ends meet so I can afford, because you said ODSP has benefits. They don't cover anything that I do.
You may.
What did you do in Chatham prior to saying like, oh, I've had enough of you?
Okay, well, that's a long story. I don't know how much time we have, but okay, so let's just say I'll go up to when I was 24, I went traveling, and I pretty much have not stopped traveling since then.
Yeah.
Previous to that, I had bought a house when I was 20, and because I worked at International Navistar, woo.
Oh,
Yeah,
shout out.
worked there for many years. I don't know, 5 or 6 years. That's why I was able to buy a house, which also in turn has snowballed into why I'm able to have a cool life, because I mean, housing prices were awesome and I sold mine. So blah, blah, blah. So I did that. And before that, I just lived your normal life. I think I worked every job there is here. I worked at the call centers. I worked at the wheels. I worked at restaurants. I did everything. But I was a big skater. I even had a sponsor when I was young. I was an aggressive rollerblader. If anyone has ever been to the skate park back in the day, they probably knew who I was.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I think I was the first guy to do a backflip, and I was the first guy to do the Sears rail on rollerblades.
Come on. That's awesome.
Maybe someone else did it, but I was definitely one of the first.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was like, back in those days, it was really good. You know, Chatham was really fun back then.
Yeah.
I haven't lived here for a long time, really, truly now, but it sounds like it's a little bit tougher to live around Chatham these days. But it's still beautiful. I just got here. I just drove through town, and it's beautiful. All the art and stuff, the
The
graffiti.
art is so beautiful.
Really, really cool. Something I
fan.
think has been missing here for a long time is a little bit of color, a little bit of life. So that's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
And I know there's lots of festivals and stuff that do happen as well. I know Retrofest just happened.
Just pass. I mean, this year was kind of a flop.
Rain like, can I swear on this thing?
You can
rain like a motherfucker, I heard.
It did. It rained like a motherfucker.
Well, yeah, because I was in London and Toronto. It was raining that whole time I was up there, and then I came here, so I'm assuming it rained here as well. So.
Yeah, it was cats and dogs. So sponsored rider too. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Cool. Oh man, it was really cheesy. It was just a website called Skaters.
Yeah.
And we got free clothes and hats and stuff to send them videos. But that was way back when really you didn't really have videos. You had to have a big old actual camcorder to record. So. It's probably a good thing. There's probably a lot less evidence from all the shenanigans back then.
The only thing that was a saving grace for me was that there was no cameras.
Oh, yeah.
Because my life could be kaput.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, I didn't know international in wheels, two of the greatest things that started Chatham.
Yeah.
Both kind of kapooey. But what'd you do at the wheels?
I was just to Kearney or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wheels would have been such a cool spot.
It was when it was dying, too. I was I worked there.
Cuckabutt.
But yeah, that's still great. You can go in there and do everything. You can just go back and forth, do every single thing.
Yeah.
There was never an issue, but yeah.
What
I think last year I ran the numbers, and I think we had around 97,000 people show up, customers. So that's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Because we just wanted to do this as a little. It was supposed to be a side business, honestly.
Yeah.
I was still working full time when we opened.
Okay.
And this was supposed to be a weekend kind of hustle. But it turned really quickly into I have to jump out and figure out how to run this.
That's so. Now you're running everything yourself with wife and brother-in-law. What's that like working family, getting to do everything with your best friend?
I don't think we would do it any other way. We're right beside the brewery, so that helps.
Yeah.
We have young kids getting older now, but at the time they were pretty young, and I don't think we'd be able to do it if I had to drive in somewhere and be there for 16 to 18 hours a day trying to run the business. So
I was going to say, what do your days look like?
You know what? Like, we've come a long way. Like, we're going into our 6th year now, and we have great staff. We got a great production team.
Got it just running efficiently and effectively.
We have it down to an art. We think most days until it gets hairy and busy, until it's not. But that's like any business. But change is just inevitable, and I think you have to, as an entrepreneur, you got to work through that, because change is just going to always happen. Yeah. It can be changed for the good. It can be changed for the bad. One thing I always say that you can never have a bad decision. No. Because the next decision you ever make is going to be the best decision you've ever made.
I like that a lot.
So I try to live by that all the time, and it is stressful, like with some of the things that just come on your plate, and having 60 unread emails in a day. That's just, you just got to get used to it.
Chaos.
Yeah.
What? So you brought up your entrepreneurial. Like, what is so you're fresh. You're in the under 10 years. They say the first 5 years will make or break. What's your entrepreneurial advice for people that are fresh into it?
I think you have to maybe talk to an entrepreneur to know if you really want to get involved in that. I think I kind of correlate it to looking at my kids and seeing what we're doing, and see from their eyes of maybe they don't want to take this over someday, because we put a lot of effort into this, and it's 24/7 essentially. There is not 9 to 5. We might be doing things at night. We might be doing things during the day, but sometimes we get to make our own schedule as well too. So as far as a timeline for 5 years, I think this is, like they say, it is the hump year where you get to really enjoy it. And I think we're at this point now where we're seeing some of our bills being paid off, and some of those stressors are just kind of falling a bit. So
what, like in the beginning, you told me how you got there. How does it make you feel paying that homage to your grandfather?
It still gives me chills, like right now, like every time I talk about it. It really does.
Like,
I just think that, somewhere he's watching down and he's pretty proud of what we're doing, and that he, whether incidentally or purposely, put that beer right in the middle. It's
cool
paying
that it
homage
travels
to
with
my
you.
family as well. And beer drinkers in Belgium are, easy to come by.
Yeah.
But homebrewing came a long way since he's done it too. And
Yeah.
there was no really a craft brewery when I was younger. So
No, it is crazy, is it not? Like I didn't know what craft brewery was when I first heard it, and it is so cool because it really has taken over.
it's really a craft brewery for now. From looking outside in, it's about your community, and every craft brewery really dials into that. Whether they're supporting the local events, they're supporting local charities. I see ourselves as a community space now. I don't even see it some days as our company. I see it as like it's the community's company.
That's right.
The amount of purposes that we use in the barn, like, it's not at all what I thought we would be doing, but this is just how it transformed, and I love it the way it is. I think